Week 2 of the rookie quarterback grades for the NFL preseason is here. We'll start off and go through them. JT, I'll let you give your little take and grade, and then I'll come back and we'll just kind of pop back and forth on this, really tell the people what we think about these quarterbacks after a couple of weeks and really just what we saw in week 2 of the preseason. So starting off the top, Cam Ward, he was 2 for 7 on the game against the Falcons with 42 yards. What was your grade? What were your takeaways from the number 1 overall pick?
I still give him an A. Listen, the wide receivers got to go out there and catch the doggone ball. There's a reason why you're playing receiver. All of these new gloves they have with all of the stick that they got on them, there's no reason to be dropping a pass like that. And don't give me the excuse, oh, it was a little bit too in front of them. Your high school coach used to always say, if it touches your fingertips, you need to catch it. If you can't catch, then you should be playing defensive back. Those are the guys who can make excuses for drops like that. Can't be out there leaving money on the field, dropping dimes, especially beautiful ones like that. Cam Ward is already a top 10 quarterback. The Titans just need to shut him down for the rest of the preseason. We don't need to be risking any more injuries. Listen, Cam Ward has already shown that he's one of the ones. He has the respect of the locker room. He's scrapping with Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, this is a guy, man. This is one of those alphas. Tennessee has already seen enough. Put a better receiver on the field than Van Jefferson. Put the Travis Hunter Destroyer out there, a league Iron Manner.
Yeah. Alec Iron Manner was absolutely nasty in college, and I thought it was great that they picked him up too. There was something that you just said, not about Cam Ward being top 10. There was something that you just said.
Receivers got to go catch the ball. We got all these gloves for a reason.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But, either way. Cam Ward, 2-7, 42 yards. I'm going to give him a C for this game. I did think that he could have been a little tighter than what he was last week, but Cam Ward has not had a lot of action in preseason so far. Did think he had a really nice completion to Alec Iron Manner, the Travis Hunter beater, like you were mentioning. He was rolling to his right, really showcased that natural ability. That holding call where he threw it out of bounds through the receiver, I thought was a really solid rep from Cam, too. It was just, a little too far outside of the hashes. He did overshoot Van Jefferson, which really wasn't a huge deal to me. I saw, a few people talking about that play, but he went to the podium. He owned it. And then he did have 3 overthrows in this game in general that I thought were good reps with how he operated in the pocket, had the vision, the decision-making to really choose that read. Here's what I was going to say. Did you see the post about Cam Ward holding his teammates accountable about a week ago in a practice because he thought that it was a lazy practice? That's how I knew that kid was a leader right there. Now, we got to be a little careful, right? Because Anthony Richardson was the first one in, last one out, playing catch in the parking lot with Alec Pierce after he got drafted. Like, you got to be careful with the actual work ethic and durability that these guys bring to the table with those kinds of stories, but you love to see it from Cam Ward. I'm going to be a gentleman and let you go first and speak about my boy Tyler Shough that the New Orleans Saints drafted in the second round. He was 9 for 12. For 66 yards, had 5 receivers make catches from him. What were your takeaways on Tyler Shough, and also a grade?
I give him a B-. I ain't gonna lie, like, Tyler Shough is a lot better than what I initially thought he was. I have somebody that played with him that's pretty close. So the thing with Tyler Shough is sometimes his brain he'll just have really weird turnovers. Like the previous week against the Chargers, dude throws a pick 6, comes back out, and he throws a touchdown. Yep. He does have a gunslinger mentality in him. I give him a B-. If the Saints wanted to roll with him over Spencer Rattler, I would disagree with that. I still would prefer Spencer Rattler, but I don't think he's that bad. They might have a little something in him. I still don't think it's going to work, but from what we see in the preseason, he's looked pretty decent. He's looked solid. I give him a B-.
Yeah, I think he's looked solid too. I'm going to give Tyler Shough a B. I love the confidence of him taking the shot to Olave in this game and really just like exercising the deep ball confidence and the mentality. Really, both him and Spencer Rattler, you can see Kellen Moore's play calling really shining through right there. And even, with the shot that Shough took to Olave in this game, just barely overshot him. I love the call. I love the confidence overall just throughout the team. And again, Shough has so much confidence throwing the deep ball, giving his guy a chance. You saw that on the deep completion to Trayton Welch on the 28-yarder. Everyone's talking about that one, kind of the highlight reel. But he's getting comfortable. It was nice seeing him, grow that connection with Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. Just crossing my fingers that those guys can stay healthy, both of them coming off of the season-ending injuries. And you saw his mobility and processing really improve. Like he moved, reset, delivered on those several designed and improvised plays as well. And he's got that escape and throw ability that kind of keeps some drives alive, forces defenses to really respect the whole field. Now, he's not going to be an insane dual threat, but he still does have some capability to, make you respect his awareness. And he even had a couple of moments where, speaking of his awareness and the combination of his timing, it did cost the Saints in some scoring opportunities. They had to settle for some field goals in the first half. And of course, the O-line is still really disappointing. So you can't fully isolate Tyler Shough's, here and there play when he's battling that extra pressure. Fixing the O-line would really clean up a lot, and I think give us a better analysis and just really be able to see how Tyler Shough plays in that Saints system. But his arm, his timing, and mobility are really big upsides, for the Saints immediately. But holding the ball less, making better red zone reads, I think is going to be something that Tyler Shough really needs to hone in on. And we're just going to look for the quarterback coach and really Kellen Moore to get him up to snuff. The most impressive rookie quarterback right now is Jaxson Dart, and he is looking like that he maybe should have been a top 5 pick overall. Maybe I'm overreacting, JT, but what's your opinion on Dart? He was 14 for 16, 197 yards. He had a touchdown pass and a touchdown run. What'd you think of his performance?
Yeah, I give him an A++, man. Jaxson Dart proved me wrong in the worst way possible, because the last time I saw Jaxson Dart, he choked against Florida. He threw away Ole Miss playoff hopes. I can't get that game out of my head. Had 2 really bad interceptions to close out that game. But
yeah,
sometimes hindsight is 2020. Looking at him with the Giants so far, he's looked really impressive. Now,
yeah, he has.
He still should sit behind Russell Wilson with the schedule they have. You don't want to throw him to the wolves unless you just have no choice, especially with Brian Dable being on the hot seat. Him and Joe Shough have to win. Now, I don't really know what the owner is expecting them to win, but Russell Wilson isn't like Daniel Jones bad. He's still a ish around quarterback. He's not going to lose you games necessarily. He'll keep you in them with the offensive prowess of Brian Dable. Maybe you can get a little bit more juice out of Russ that the Steelers, the Broncos with Sean Payton were unable to get out of him. So Jaxson Dart is more so the season's over. Let's just throw him out there. But hey, man, if he was in a better situation where the schedule wasn't as tough, I'll say go ahead and throw him out there. And I wouldn't even have a problem throwing him out there if I wasn't on the hot seat.
Yeah, because you already know I'll be shocked if the Giants don't clean house head coach and GM wise once the season's over. Yeah, I'm going to give Jaxson Dart an A as well. Like I said, 14 of 16, almost 200 yards, 2 touchdowns in this game. The first pass, he's just immediately flashing his skill set. Pressure breaks the pocket instantly. You can see him react, move a little more urgently in the pocket, but he wasn't panicking. Sidearms it in for the screen pass, just giving what the defense gave him, and it ended up being a big gain and conversion. So it's like, sometimes you don't have to be Batman. You just got to be Bruce Wayne. Just check the box, live to see the next play, give what the defense has given you, and really move forward. And he even had an opportunity to scramble for a first down and really show his, mobility before he got tripped up at the line earlier in some of his snaps. And I think what's so impressive about Jaxson Dart right now is he is so good at layering throws into NFL coverage already. Now, I get it. It's preseason. A lot of these guys aren't going to make the team. Is he throwing against the ones? We get that. But the fact that he's doing it with just what he's given, because we've seen higher picks before not be able to do this. So I just think that's impressive, all things considered, of, kind of the scouting report of Jaxson Dart as he came in. And then the guy's just looking very comfortable, right? He's a good athlete, the arm, the vision, the mobility. He is arguably the best looking rookie overall right now, just in the NFL preseason. Jalen Milroe went 3 for 5, 46 yards. He had 5 carries for another 18 yards. I think, like I said, this is really the sleeper quarterback of the NFL draft, man. Am I crazy for saying that?
Yeah,
skill set could be nasty. His skill set could be nasty with the right coaching.
Yeah, I think with Jalen Milroe, I'll give him a C+. There was a lot of hype at the start of training camp about Jalen Milroe. He got out to a pretty fast start, but he has started to cool off. He's are now starting to understand why his draft stock fell so rapidly throughout the course of last season.
Yeah.
It's just a consistency.
This is the same Jalen Milroe that Nick Saban benched for Ty Simpson, who's about to take the starting job this year for Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, man. The issue with Jalen Milroe is that he doesn't have the ability to hit the layups with consistency. Can you hit a 5-yard slant to an open receiver 10 out of 10 times?
Literally.
We know that you have the ability to hit the deep ball, but when you have a quarterback who throws a deep ball more accurately than he throws anything else, that's a huge concern. Now, unlike Anthony Richardson, the expectations for Jalen Milroe aren't as high. You can say the expectations for Anthony Richardson weren't high, but with Jalen Milroe, you get somebody that has 2 years of experience playing in the SEC. He has had some good games. He was really good against Alabama and, well, against Georgia, and
Yeah, don't
more
remind me.
times than not. Yeah, like if you are good against Kirby Smart's defense, you got the ability to be a capable starter in the NFL. Every quarterback that's had success against Kirby Smart's defense has gone on to have a solid NFL career, if not better.
Right.
It's just with him being on Seattle, he is the third string. So if things don't go right for Sam Darnold, I still think that they stick with Drew Lock, but they will have him in on some design packages, kind of like how the Saints use Taysom Hill, although they're not using them as a tight end.
Right.
They already had a possession in their previous preseason game. They got really creative with the tush push. They had Sam Darnold in the backfield behind Jalen Milroe underneath center. So they already have a bunch of creative ways to get him involved. He is going to be on the field. He will get significant playing time because the dude is 6'2", 30 pounds. He's built like a Ford F-150 at quarterback. Nobody's really trying to tackle that, especially when you have the blend of power and elusiveness that he has. Doesn't really get hit too often, but at the same time, he will put that shoulder down and run through you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love the physicality of Jalen Milroe and really just the athlete that he's become. And, you know, call me crazy, man, but I really think he could be the franchise future quarterback of that team if he is molded well with Mike Macdonald, who I have confidence in, and Clint Kubiak, which you might feel a little indifferent about him with him coming from New Orleans, but that was an absolute crapshoot over there. I think Seattle immediately bringing him out for a tush push and then a read option just shows you that Clint Kubiak is literally cooking up a playbook for Jalen Milroe, and Mike Macdonald is having an exact hand in it as well as the head coach. And, you know, I felt like in this game a little bit, Jalen Milroe was a little too antsy to run with the ball instead of taking more time in the pocket, but Kubiak was moving him around a lot with the play actions and the bootlegs. And, you know, I just really think that's where Jalen Milroe is going to be his strongest. And he even had a nice back shoulder fade in this game. It was incomplete, but it had pretty good placement and just a super snappy arm. I mean, hell of an athlete. Like you said, he'll run you over. He's got great build for the position. It'll be nice to see how it unfolds. And again, I think he could be next in line in Seattle if all things play out well for him.